All right, hello everybody. I am Steven from Woolery Strength Systems, and today we are going to be talking about Friday, August 29th, Max Effort Upper Body Day. So, first thing we're going to go through here is kind of what we did for that lift. It's been very similar to the last few Fridays. We did banded face pulls, banded tricep press downs, and rotational med ball throws. Obviously, that banded face pull and banded tricep press down have kind of been a staple for like the warm up, activation, whatever you want to say there. And then for the main movement today, which was really fun actually, we did 3 board press, and we're hitting a 1RM on that for the max effort. And then going through after that, we hit some dumbbell bench 3-second on the eccentric, some chest supported dumbbell rows, and then I did a tricep. I don't have it marked here as a tricep, but I did a tricep of dumbbell lateral raises, dumbbell curls, and overhead side bends with the band. And then as we'll see here going through the lift, there was a couple different split. There was 2 sessions. I broke this up into because we had a football group. For you that do not know, I am a intern at UCM here in Missouri for the strength staff. But we are going to go through and look at these pulls or this workout. So again, these are just the face pulls right here. Nothing too fancy here. Um, we're all getting kind of warmed up, just getting good protraction, retraction here, trying to get the upper back fired up before we go and bench some heavy weight, relatively, I suppose. But yeah, nothing pretty uh, interesting to really see there. And then we also have these tricep press downs. Again, just kind of working on that lockout, that tricep strength. Going through, felt good. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. Don't need to watch you and bore you all with the tricep extensions and face pulls with the band. So these are my kryptonite at the moment. Makes me feel very unathletic, which I probably am. Biggest thing on these is I'm trying to kind of rip down and then, whoop, I apologize, rip down and throw. And these definitely felt a little bit better today. And this was my first set. It kind of got better throughout that I did not record. But again, I was trying to rip down to the side and kind of use that stretch shortening cycle within my trunk muscles. That left side is very uncoordinated. Definitely could feel a little better and probably look a lot better too. So, but this is what I'm kind of getting here. I think what needs to happen is I'm not really getting a whole lot of rotation in my trunk to an extent. I feel like maybe I could kind of get a little more rotation out of that and actually get a little bit more speed behind that ball, add another uh, long axis of rotation maybe. I'm in biomechanics right now and I should know that, but again, I'm trying to put things together sometimes when I'm actually doing them within exercise and things like that. So biomechanics are not my strong suit quite yet, but anyway, that might be a video sometime, who knows. So anyway, we're going to get into the 3 board press. So I did not hit that. Had to adjust there real quick. So we did 135, 175, 205, 225, and 225 was like my bare minimum goal, or I was going to be really upset with myself. We ended up going up to 245, and then another 20-pound jump at 265, and then 275, which you all see, and I did not hit that one, unfortunately, which I probably could have maybe went for a little lighter weight, but I really want to try to see if I could hit that 275. So we'll go through these. I did a triple with 135. TD kind of got in the way here of the camera, but not a big deal. This was my first set with the 3 board. Come down. It was just very odd stopping. You can kind of see me like hesitate on that one. Um, it was a very odd feeling having it stop super early on that range of motion, but it ended up working out well. Again, we'll kind of go through my setup here and about to lift off right here. Pull that off, and I think I hit a double. Perfect. Perfect. Yeah. So these actually felt really, really good. After that first set, excuse me, it felt a little funky there, but um, after I got kind of used to it, it started feeling really, really good. So I'm going to watch this through again. Punch. Took a little pause here. And this was the first set. I'll actually kind of go back on this unrack. This was the first set right here where the weight was like kind of heavy in my hands because the simple fact we had the J hook set to 8. And me and one of the other strength coaches talked about this. Like, if there was between a 7 and 8 on our J hooks, there at UCM weight room, it would be perfect height for us. But 8's a little too low for our liking, and 7 is like we almost have to kind of protract to get it out sometimes. Then we have to set our shoulder blades again. But me, I'm not as bad as he is. He's got a little shorter arms than I am, but he's also way stronger than me. But that's besides the point. Anyway, these are looking really good. Again, most of these are just kind of warming up to a decent weight here. Again, let me get set up. And again, this felt really, really good. Um, and I have switched racks by now. Again, these look really smooth. We'll watch that one more time. Good, yeah. I'm kind of just looking to see if at any point do my elbows flare out, but they are nice and tight and tucked in like I want them to. Some people might have theirs a little more tucked in, and there might be different techniques people use for larger board press, but this was actually my first time doing a board press, so I was pretty happy with today overall. I felt technique was fine for the most part. Going through 245 here. Again, this was my first one that was a little more unexpected, I guess. 225 was my main goal for the day, and that still moved really, really well, as you can see there. Was pretty happy with it. I will say this is like I'm still kind of adapting to like picking up heavier loads versus bodybuilding for so long. For the users that don't know, I did do a bodybuilding show. Wasn't like crazy successful or great at bodybuilding by any means, but it's still would just like it's a different style of training, 100%. Like doing one rep and then just feeling all the strain, and like after you kind of rack it or anything like that, like you kind of just feel like the tension like releases, I guess. But like I don't know how to describe it, but it just I like the feeling. Is all I do know. I do know that I like the feeling. So going through here, and let's see, watching this one right here, come down, and that one did move a little bit slower, for sure. But based off that, like you guys can kind of leave a comment down below if you think I actually should have went for 275. Because right off the chest, it was kind of like a little bit grindy, but as soon as it actually started moving, it went right. So again, let me double check for my elbows right there. Good control down, just good lockout there. Yeah, so I was pretty happy with that. And then I actually want to see if I had any technical breakdown on this 275. Right here, it looks like we got the handoff. As you can see right there, if you watch, you can actually see the bar sway. This is the first time I've ever had 275 in my hands on a bench press at least, and I clearly was not expecting that feeling. You can kind of see right here, I kind of got a little wobbly. I should have probably let it settle some more, but TD and I were talking. He's the guy spotting me right here. Where we kind of think that it's right now where I'm at is just my CNS is not used to kind of handling those heavier loads or being able to like the rate of force development type of stuff is just not quite there. And we think that as we go through this conjugate program, which is kind of based around hitting that CNS from different aspects, max effort, dynamic repetition method, which I'm pretty good at with the repetition method stuff. The dynamic I'm getting a lot better at, and then right now just the max effort is kind of like what's holding me back. Where it's like if that 275 would have actually moved just a little bit, I probably would have got it. But I haven't taught my CNS or my body to actually kind of grind through or strain through a little bit of a heavier load. So that's something that I'm gonna have to teach my body. And it's also trying to work on inhibiting those kind of those safety protocols we have in our muscles, our muscle spindles, I believe, and our Golgi tendon organs, things like that. Hopefully, I didn't say that incorrectly. I know the Golgi tendon organs correct, but muscle spindles. I think that's when my brain's coming. It's still pretty early in the morning, so hopefully I said that right, not just saying false information. But yes, anyway, we're gonna watch this one more time and just kind of see. So, like, basically, what we're saying is slow this down a little bit. Wrong one. Wrong one again. Here we go. Basically, what we're saying is, if after I go here, if I would have got that up another inch and a half, maybe, then it probably would have went. Because we don't really think it's my lockout strength or anything like that. It's just my ability to just kind of just turn on fourth gear and just go, or four wheel drive, whatever you want to say, and just hit the next gear, if you will, and then just keep punching through. I just don't quite have that one yet. and as you see, it just kind of slowly goes down. Luckily, he pulls it off my chest, but anyway, it still felt really good to just kind of just have 275 in my hand, which I think is a very important thing. Just being able to feel what that load feels like. So anyway, going through the rest of this lift, we're going to go ahead and go. So actually, we'll talk about this real quick. I did 45s, and one of the other GAs was kind of talking some smack, and it was like, "You're not even doing 50s," and I picked up the 50s, and I got 14, which was really good, and I knew that was going to kill me because 14 was hard, which we'll see here in just a second. But then that last set, I was completely destroyed. I didn't have much left in the tank, and him and I talked about it after, and I'm still, as you'll see, going really, really deep, like honestly past my chest almost, it seems. And I think that's a little bit of like the bodybuilding training esque that I've been participating in, which also feels really good on like my shoulders and things like that, getting just full range of motion, which feels really good. But anyway, I'll stop talking and we'll go through this real quick. But anyway, what I was saying is that full range of motion might be limiting the weight. 2, 3, because yeah, I'm going all the way down. Versus some of them were stopping where their elbows were like right at parallel, versus mine, 6 inches under. Again, this is not the best angle to call that 6 inches or not, but we'll go through towards the end of the set so you all can kind of see the grindy reps that I start to get into. Right there. That one doesn't slow down too much, but there you can start to see some struggle, real fatigue starting to set in. And I might have actually failed on this rep here. Yeah, I just said I probably could have kind of got through that, but I think that's the same thing what I just said about the max effort bench, where I just got to find that kind of next drive to just kind of flip and go. But anyway, going through chest supported dumbbell rows. We'll go ahead and just do the second set here. Nothing fancy here. Just trying to get pulled back to about parallel or 90 degree pull in my elbows, which I was just about getting. Felt okay. Probably could maybe go down a little bit, but we're switching this exercise next week, I think, anyway. Wasn't too upset with these. Felt pretty good still. But yeah, that's kind of all I have for those. Nothing fancy. Still have to just kind of get used to this different style of training, I think, is the biggest thing. But again, we're going to go through these lateral races. This was all this a little bit after. We had, like I said, a football session. Lateral raises, again, only counting ones that kind of get parallel with my shoulders at least, preferably a little bit above. So you can kind of see that as it fatigues right here. And then more. And I think I actually got 15 that term because it was the first set. I only recorded the first set. That's correct. But through other sets, after they weren't getting quite there, I maybe did one more just partial and called it good. And I got, for 20 pounds, we got 15, 13, 13, 11. And then curls, I got 2 at 25 at 15, 2 at 25 at 13, and then 10 reps at 13. So we'll watch that real quick. On through. Just trying to get a good stretch of the biceps here, and my biceps were absolutely destroyed after this. And yeah, just curls, nothing to see here. And then these overhead side bends one more time, which were still, they felt pretty good there. I kind of got it to where that band's more just right behind my head, and I'm crunching down into my obliques, as well as almost like thinking about pulling down with my lat just a little bit. And those felt really, really good once again. Don't have too much to say to see if we can see anything different from the side. Not particularly, but yeah. Overall, that was a great workout, and as you see, the difficulty was a 3. Felt great today on that during that training session. Felt really, really good, and it took about give or take 70 minutes. Wasn't too for sure after we kind of between groups and stuff. I don't know how much time was there. I kind of lost track, but we had a really good session. It was fun, and definitely excited to keep going through this as well. We'll also go ahead and talk about my nutrition, which went a little over calories, as you'll see here in a second. Had a little bit of some snacks when I got home, which that's like kind of just me being honest with you all. And I know sometimes it's hard to stick to the diet, but I luckily didn't go too far over. Well, kind of 400 calories is kind of a lot over, but 2,800 calories is kind of around a maintenance I've found. And I had about 3,200, which was a roughly correct. I didn't weigh some of the things that I put on, but this was about here. And yeah, so not too bad. At least I was happy that I hit my protein and my Fats were a little under, but 75 is kind of like a minimum that I like to have. 85 is just kind of the cap. But yeah, as you can see, my carbs are just, that is my kryptonite when it comes to eating. I like to eat my carbs for sure. But weight went up to 186.2, so not too bad on that day. So we're just right here again. There's only 4 data points right now. This morning was 185.6, kind of went down. We've been in this for quite a while now, but I don't have it tracked. But anyway, and then sleep yesterday was also a lot better than it had been at 7. And then I actually had 7 again tonight, or last night, which was pretty solid. I usually try to shoot between 7 and 9, and kind of hopefully that will get a little bit better. I've had to go to bed a little later than I usually like to, but hunger was also solid. I struggle with hunger sometimes where it's like I know I'm full, but I want to eat a little bit more. So that's something I'm just again being honest with you all about. And yeah, I know a lot of people struggle with that. So anyway, that has been August 29th, the Max Effort Upper Body Day and nutrition and weight check-in, whatever you want to call it. If you have any questions about coaching, let me know and take it easy. Thank you for watching. Bye.